Good morning, Year 4, or good afternoon if you're doing this later in the day. Welcome to your third reading lesson with me this week. As we went through yesterday and on Monday, we're using Derek. And today, we're looking at interpreting. We're looking for clues in the text because the answers aren't so obvious. And you might have heard interpreting as using our inference skills. So before we dive back into our extract from the butterfly lion, we're going to have a look at a picture. Again, I've used something from David Walliams because I know he's happy to share things on YouTube. My question for you, first of all, to explain new vocabulary is, what does the word hilarity mean? And now I spotted the word down here. So if you pause the video, read through the blurb at the back of this book from Billionaire Boy, and then have a think about what hilarity means. Off you go. Okay, welcome back. Let's have a look together. It means extreme amusement, especially when expressed by laughter. Well, that's a very nice review, isn't it? Your second question, based on the blurb here, retrieving. Remember the answers there for you in the text. What is the name of the richest 12-year-old in the world? Pause the video, write the answer down on your whiteboard or in your book. Okay, it says up here, meet Joe Spud, the richest 12-year-olds. Can you interpret, can you read between the lines and look for clues? Why do you think Joe might need a friend? So it says here, yes, Joe has everything he wants, but there's just one thing he really needs, a friend. Pause the video and write down your answer, please. Okay, I've written here, Joe might need a friend for company. He has lots of toys, but needs a friend to play with. And finally, why does a blurb contain reviews? Why have these 3 reviews been included? Pause the video and write your answer down, please. Okay, in my opinion, the blurb contains reviews because it makes the book enticing. It makes the reader think, oh, this is good. It's a book that's going to make me laugh. I definitely want to pick this one up and read it. So it helps sell the book. Okay, let's read through our extract together again. I didn't think it would rain, she said, her voice gentler. Lost, are you? I said nothing. She had a dog on a leash at her side, a big dog. There was an ominous growl in his throat and his hackles were up all along his back. She smiled. The dog says you're on private property, she went on, pointing her stick at me, accusingly. She edged aside my raincoat with the end of her stick. Run away from that school, did you? Well, if it's anything like it used to be, I can't say I blame you. But we can't just stand here in the rain, can we? You'd better come inside. We'll give him some tea. Shall we, Jack? Don't you worry about Jack. He's all bark and no bite. Looking at Jack, I find that hard to believe. I don't know why, but I never for one moment thought of running off. I often wondered later why I went with her so readily. I think it was because she expected me to, willed me somehow. I followed the old lady and her dog up to the house, which was huge, as huge as my school. It looked as if it had grown out of the ground. There was hardly a brick or stone or tile to be seen. The entire building was smothered in red creeper, and there was a dozen ivy-clad chimneys sprouting skywards from the roof. We sat down close to the stove in a vast, vaulted kitchen. The kitchen's always the warmest place, she said, opening the oven door. We'll have you dry in no time. Okay, so today we're looking at developing our inference skills. So we're just going to look together at the beginning of our extract. So my first question for you, why did the child not speak? I'm going to just start you off by pointing out a clue in the text. So I'm going to get my highlighter, and if you've got one at home, you could use that, or you could use your pencil and circle the clues. And it just says here, I said nothing. But why? Pause the video and write down your answer, please. Okay, it says I said nothing. She had a dog on a leash at her side, a big dog. Ominous growl. Do you remember that meant something bad was going to happen? So I'm going to use those clues to help me write my answer. And my answer looks like this. The child said nothing. See, I borrowed that from here. Because he was unsure about the dog and the woman. The child may have thought they were in trouble because remember down here it says the dogs are on private property. So that tells me the child should not have been there. Okay, well done. Let's have a look at another question together. How did the child feel about the dog? Pause the video, have a think, and write your answer down, please. Okay, so remember, it doesn't actually say the child was worried or the child felt. We've got to look for clues. So here, the dog again said there was an ominous growl and its hackles were up along its back. And remember on Monday, we said that's the hair that goes down the back of the dog's neck and it stands up if it's angry or worried or vicious. So how would you feel? My answer looks like this. The child may have felt nervous and anxious about the dog because the author describes the dog as having an ominous growl and its hackles were up. Okay, let's have a look at my last question. Where had the woman been? Remember, it doesn't say the woman had been to the shops. It doesn't give us that information. So what do you think? Look for clues, pause the video and write down your answer, please. Okay, so if I was looking for clues, it said she had a dog on a leash. I know she's outside. And it said you're on private property. And spoke about a raincoat. And further on in the text, which I've not included, it says that she didn't think it was going to rain. So by looking for all of those clues, my answer looks like this. The woman had most likely been for a walk as she was with her dog, which she had on a leash. You could extend that and say, I think she was outside because she spoke about being on private property. Okay, boys and girls, your task today. Can you, just like you did previously, can you write the long dates and reading at the top of your page? And then answer the inference questions below. You might want to pause the video here so you've got the questions to copy down. Remember, use the text to look for clues. I look forward to seeing your work. Have a good day, Year 4.